Hi, I'm Ryan from the YouTube channel The Cold Plunge. And today I want to talk about a low-cost way that you can try cold plunging yourself. Now, if you're watching this video, I'm sure that you've taken the time to research the benefits of cold plunging. In fact, you might have come across my video where I explain some of the benefits that I've experienced as I've gone into my cold plunging journey. But for me, the biggest obstacle to trying cold plunging was the cost. The reality is that cold plunges these days cost anywhere from $3,000 all the way up to over $30,000. And that really just was a price range that I wasn't going to be able to afford to try cold plunging. And so I want to share with you today how I got into it for just $100. When it comes to commercial cold plunges, one of the bigger expenses is the chiller. That's the device that takes the water, cools it, and helps keep the temperature consistent all the time. Now, in order to alleviate that expense, what I needed to do was begin my cold plunge journey in the late fall to early winter. The reality is, for many people, you will live in a location where the ambient temperature in the days and evenings during the winter will be cold enough to actually get the water to the temperature that you need. Research seems to indicate that anything below 60 degrees Fahrenheit will give you the adaptations and experiences that you need for the true cold plunge journey. So that being said, if we can set up our cold plunge outdoors in that early winter, then we can begin to chill the water without needing an actual chiller. Now, of course, if you live in a very warm climate, or you're watching this video in the summer, then you're kind of out of luck. But hopefully for many of you, this will be an option that you can take advantage of. Once you have ambient temperatures outside that are dipping below the 60s in order to cool that water by the air temperature, what I recommend getting is a galvanized stock tank. Now, there are people that have other containers that they like to use. A big one is the feeding trough that is like a PVC plastic material. I prefer the galvanized steel tank because even touching it now, this thing is frigid. So I feel like there's a better transference of the cold air temperature to the metal and into the water than something like the plastic tanks where they really aren't going to transfer as much of the cold air to the water. When it comes to the galvanized steel tanks, you can usually pick one up at a Tractor Supply store or like a Home Depot or a Lowe's. They usually have them for the $150 range for a 100-gallon tank. However, if you take some time and you're willing to wait, you can look on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist, and usually you can negotiate with somebody for getting one around $100, which is what I was able to do with mine. Once you have your tank, clean it out really good, add water, and boom, you're ready to go. Let the water sit, be sure to check the temperature. Once it goes below 60 degrees, you're ready for your cold plunge experience. One of the benefits of cold plunging in the the late fall to early winter is that the ambient temperatures are going to be decreasing over time. And so the water temperature will decrease over time. This is a great way to introduce yourself into the cold plunge. You'll be able to start at a warmer temperature in the high 50s potentially, and then as winter goes along, you will be able to acclimate to those colder temperatures of the water. Depending on where you live, I being in Virginia, winter days like this, you might end up with 1.5 inches of ice on top. But because I've built over time, this becomes much easier for me to get into. Again, with this method, depending on your location, you could be able to cold plunge from late fall all the way to even early spring and still receive all the benefits of the cold plunge, just for $100. Now, this does have some disadvantages. One is that you're gonna have to change the water, usually about 1.5 to 2 weeks, depending on how frequently you use it and how many people are using it. Of course, if you check out the other video that I have, I explained how you can take a $100 kiddie pool water pump and put that filter on to help clean the water and extend the life of the water, I can usually get, when it's running, about 2 to 3 weeks of really clean water before I need to change it out. For me, wanting to begin a cold plunge journey, I simply couldn't afford thousands of dollars for a cold plunge. However, waiting to the fall and winter, using this metal stock tank, I've been able to enjoy the benefits of cold plunging at a relatively low cost. If you have any questions about my setup or cold plunging in general, drop them in the comments below. And if you like cold plunge videos and want us to keep going, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Have a great day.